Hello and welcome to the Common Colt Podcast, a podcast made by Colts fans who just tell it how it is. I'm Josh Hudgens, joined by my co-host, Dan Hertzler. Dan, how you doing? The Colts and Jeff Saturday pull it off in his debut. I'm surprised.
Yeah, the Jeff Saturday era has begun, and it begun with a win. Man, it's been a crazy week, but this feels good just to get the dub, to get out of there. And hats off to Jeff Saturday and to his team and all the guys. They've been under a lot. People have been criticizing their move and criticizing him a little bit and some of the things going on. We criticize him a little bit too, but hey, we want to give him credit where credit's due, and you got the dub. And congratulations to Jeff Saturday. Congratulations to the Colts. Josh, here's my question. It's the question we always ask here on the Common Colt Podcast. Give me one word. What's your one word reaction right now?
I'm impressed, Dan. I'm impressed. The Colts were a laughing stock kind of all week, a circus. They were labeled by many. They were dangerously close to imploding, I think. And we're going to analyze Jeff's game in a minute here, but I'm impressed by this win. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to use a word that is kind of odd in the sense of the football sense, but to me, it's revealing or telling, whichever way you want to say it. Very revealing some of the things that happened today about Frank Reich and what was going on in the Colts locker room or behind the scenes there. We'll talk a lot more here about Saturday in a second, but I thought it was just very revealing. Offensive line play looked good. Very revealing that the run game finally took off. Very revealing that game management was not a problem, but it was actually a positive. All those things very revealing that a guy that just comes off the street, literally off the street. Like yeah. we were joking about one of the bios for Jeff Saturday that they put up on the TV was he played 10 seasons with Peyton Manning as his quarterback. Yeah. Like that's one of your bios. That's not very impressive. I know whatever we feel about Peyton Manning, great quarterback, all that stuff, but really that's not very impressive. But he did some things that Frank Reich had not been doing, and to me, it's very revealing.
Yeah, and just thinking about Jeff Saturday and kind of getting into the nitty gritty here on his game, I'm giving it 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. I don't think he was able to go in. I mean, he just joined the team on Sunday night, going into Monday morning. So there's no way how he was going to be able to join in and change a bunch of X's and O's and do all this crazy stuff. He couldn't really screw that up, but he couldn't change a whole lot. Now, he could have joined the team and really lost the team and lost their trust. But what he did do, he gained their trust, it looked like. They came out with emotion and energy. He put Matt Ryan in back in the game, which was a huge coaching decision, and that paid off for him. They got a fast start, which they haven't done all year. And when it comes to game management, we're probably going to talk about this later. I mean, he won a challenge in the first half. They had a good 2-minute drive at the end of the second half, or at the end of the first half in the second quarter there, and they had good play calling for most of the game because of Parks Frazier was calling the plays, which was another Jeff Saturday decision. Not only was the Saturday hire a big deal, but Jeff's like, hey, I want Park Frazier as my offensive play caller. This guy hasn't called a game in his career, so. And they got the win. I'm going 2 thumbs up, Dan. I don't know. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I'm feeling good right now.
No, I think we should feel good. I think everything he seemed to do for the most part really was positive. What was your gut reaction when you saw Matt Ryan? Was it shocking to you? Was it were you disappointed? You wanted to see more Sam Ellinger? What was your gut reaction?
I liked it because in my eyes, Jeff was saying, "Hey, I'm not here to tank," and as fans, we kind of get caught up in the hey, let's tank and get an early draft pick, but Jeff's trying to win, and he's trying to prove that he's not just here to bury the burden of all these losses. He's here to win, and I think that might have galvanized the team as well. Like, hey, I'm here. We're gonna get a veteran quarterback back in the stable, and we're gonna try to win this game. How are you feeling about that? And what do you think about Jeff's game?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it was a locker room move to get the veterans to buy in. No, the veterans hate it when that rookie comes in, when they start talking about rebuild, when they start talking about tanking. They know their numbers are limited as far as how many years left they got to play. They want to win. They want to get in there and win. And so to put Matt Ryan back in, I think it was a shot of confidence to the locker room. Yep. I think you saw some basic things that they figured out with the run game and the offensive line, which is really positive. The pass blocking. Now we'll talk about the Raiders in a second. The Raiders pass rush is not really good. So we don't want to get too over optimistic. But what we've seen before, they were a train wreck, and they weren't today. I think, the game management, we talked about the idea that at the end of the first half, they were aggressive and they got 3 points and they used the clock appropriately. Like, when was the last time we've seen that as a Colts fan? Just be able to use the clock and actually steal 3 points. That never happens, or that hasn't happened. You mentioned earlier the 10 points in the first quarter. That was huge. Like, we'd never get those kind of starts. So, I'm with you. Thumbs up for Jeff Saturday. Again, I was really critical. Didn't like the hire one bit. Thought it was just kind of a laughing stock kind of thing, slap in the face to the other coaches. But for this game, I'm giving all the props to Jeff Saturday.
Yeah, no, I love it. And another segment we do if you're new to the Common Colt Podcast is whether the Colts win or they lose, we give a game ball out. If they lose, it's the Curtis Painter game ball. If they win, we're just going to go ahead and take the cherry pick and call it the Peyton Manning game ball of the week. Who are you giving the Peyton Manning game ball of the week?
Yeah, for me, I'm going to give it to Jonathan Taylor. I think he just kind of took the team on his back, whether that was coaching move, whether that was changing the blocking scheme. I think he had 10 first quarter touches, had that big run. We hadn't seen that all year long. He was just the right guy to carry the team, to kind of stabilize them in some rough moments, keep the ball moving, keep their defense off the field. And so I want to give it to Jonathan Taylor. It was great to see him back. Hopefully that's a foreshadow of things that are going to happen for the rest of the season.
Yeah. I'm giving mine player-wise to Matt Ryan. He took one bad sack and it led to a missed field goal. But, I mean, he spread the ball around well. I mean, when he has time, I mean, he looks like he could still play in the NFL. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, we thought the guy was never going to play again. And he had a nice run. I mean, the guy wanted to win, and he played well. He really helped the Colts win this game. Coaching-wise, I want to give one to Jeff, and I want to give one to Parks Frazier as well, because they both got their first win. And Parks called a game that I feel like this season the Colts were super predictable offensively. And the plays, I mean, in 1 week, they're not going to really change like all the plays in the playbook. It's going to be the same for the rest of the season. But how you call them and when you call them and kind of tendencies, that's new. So they weren't as predictable, and I think that helped. And I'm giving one to both coaches as well. So I'm giving out 3 game balls today.
I think that's worthy just because the occasion we have here. To me, looking at it, not only the game balls, but also thinking of the play of the game. I know you wanted to mention something about Pittman. Sometimes he frustrates you, but you think he made a great play today.
Yeah, kind of. A bad play, but turned into a great play. So the play that really changed the game for this Colts team, to me, was when Michael Pittman fumbled the ball and then he got it back. Because the Colts this season has been, in my opinion, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They drive. You've seen it with the Kiki QT play early. I think that was the second quarter. When he fumbled it inside the Raiders' 30-yard line. And that was a drive that might have put the game away early. But this time, Pittman fumbles it on a clutch drive. He fights. He doesn't give up, and he picks the ball back up, and then the Colts score a few plays later. I love that play. It was a game-changing play because he didn't give up on the play, and it was finally, hey, we're not going to make the big mistake to cost us today.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, I think it was the last play of the game. Even though I love the first half, the 3 points that they stole there, I think finally you put your best defensive back Gilmore on Adams, and and the refs let him play. Was it defensive pass interference? It could have been called. We've seen that called many times. I don't think it would have been the worst call. I don't think it would have been the best call. I'm glad they let him play. I'm glad they let him kind of hand check each other, and Gilmore made the play. We've seen that time and time again now in these moments. Gilmore making a play late. That's what your best players have to do. And he's one of your better players on the defensive side. He made a play. They got out of there with the win. This is really encouraging for the Colts. I know, again, you mentioned fans want them to lose. Players never, ever want to lose. They're always going to get in there in a fight. You saw some things that reminded us of what this team can be. But if I gotta let the air down a little bit, if I gotta bring it down, come on, we gotta be honest here. We gotta be realistic. We're talking about the Raiders, okay? I think it's hilarious that Jeff Saturday outcoached, their whole coaching staff, and the idea that he could do that is great. But they're still the Raiders. So what should we feel here, Josh? Help me understand what I should feel. Should I be super optimistic? Should I be hopeful? Or do I just got to look and say, well, anyone can beat the Raiders?
Well, first of all, we're feeling, I don't know if vindicated is a word. I don't know. I'm not good with words, but Josh McDaniels.
Hey, don't look at me, man. I tried to say last week, train wreck was one word. So.
Yeah, that's true. Either way, Josh McDaniels, who really put the Colts in a bad spot years ago by saying, "Hey, I'm going to coach your team." The Colts are like, "Yeah, Josh McDaniels is our coach," and then he actually says, "Hey, I'm not going to be your coach." And then they got Frank Reich, and now they got Jeff. So that was cool, by the way. But
he's a little weasel, man. Just say it. He's a weasel.
He's a weasel, and this might have been his last game coach, so that'd be kind of funny. But so honestly, with what the media was putting out there, I mean, Bill Cowher in the media saying how unqualified and how embarrassing this hire was, and Joe Thomas, veteran Pro Bowl Hall of Fame left tackle, saying it was a disgrace for the Colts to put Jeff Saturday in. While a lot of like the unqualified stuff is probably true, at the end of the day, for Jeff Saturday to come in, not only keep the game close, but to win. And in an away game with a new play caller, switching your quarterback who was coming off an injury, I think that's a reason to be optimistic. I'm not saying the Colts are all of a sudden a playoff contender, but I was very encouraged by what I've seen from this Colts team today, offensively and just making adjustments on defense. Like, okay, biggest play of the game, we had Rodgers on Adams throughout the game, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to put Gilmore and Adams right now and see what happens. So I was encouraged, and we'll see what happens. What about you?
Well, again, let's remember where we were last Sunday, okay? Embarrassment, complete embarrassment, and we have no hope whatsoever. Today we do. We should just feel good about today.
Yeah.
Let's not get too deep into this team. Yes, the Raiders are not a good team. They're not playing very well. They've got some of their own issues. And we can break that down later in the week. But for today, we need to remember where we are and just enjoy this. Enjoy this ride. Enjoy this win. You know what? Don't even think twice about that. And then we get back at it. And again, hey, as crazy as this season has been, and this has been, I mean, it's just been a crazy season.
Yeah, it has.
We're almost 500 again. I mean, that's a thought that we're right there. And hey, wilder things can happen. So let's enjoy this. Celebrate tonight. Put your head down. Smile, because the Colts are victorious and we can rest tonight.
Yes, I agree 100%. Coming up for the Colts next week, they play the undefeated, as of recording this anyway, the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles at Lucas Oil Stadium. So if Jeff can pull that one off, I think some of the haters might have to be quiet. We're going to find out real quick how serious Jeff Saturday really is. But guys, we appreciate you watching the Common Colt Podcast. We just urge you to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm curious. I love reading through the comments after the games and just seeing what people have to say. What did you guys think about the game? What do you think about the play calling, Parks Frazier, Jeff Saturday? Were you impressed? I love reading that stuff. I don't know about you.
You like to read the comments when they come after me, though, right? Come on, be honest. You like it when they come after me. If you guys could go after one guy, go after Dan. He goes and he cries in the corner. Come on, bring it.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you watching, and we hope you have a great week. Thanks for watching.